Amanda Knox and Raffaele Sollecito have been found guilty of Meredith Kercher's murder in the latest verdict from Italy. The case has been bouncing back and forth through the country's justice system ever since the British student's body was found in the flat she shared with Miss Knox in Perugia. According to prosecutors, Kercher's throat had been slashed, there were multiple stab wounds, as well as signs of sexual assault. A third person, Rudy Guide from Ivory Coast, has already been convicted of taking part in the killing along with others. He's currently serving 16 years in prison. Why has it taken so long to reach a verdict? Unlike the US legal system, in Italy a suspect has far more chances to appeal their case. So although they were able to get their conviction for murder and sexual assault overturned more than 2 years ago, their case was sent back to another appeals court in Florence. That's because the Supreme Court in Rome wasn't convinced with the reasons given for overturning their conviction. Weren't they allowed to leave prison and go back home? Yes, and they weren't obliged to attend the latest trial in Florence. So Miss Knox waited for the ruling from Seattle and Mr. Sollecito from Italy, his home country, although he did make a few appearances in court. What happens now they've been found guilty? They have the right to another appeal, to go back to the Supreme Court and plead their case. If the court rules against them again, then it's finished, and they'll each have to serve prison sentences. There's also a chance that Italy could get the US to have Miss Knox serve her sentence at home. But if the Supreme Court accepts their appeal, then they go back to court for yet another trial. Will Miss Knox now be extradited back to Italy? This is where it gets even more complicated. Italy will likely wait for the Supreme Court in Rome to rule on the case again. If that court upholds Miss Knox's conviction, the government could ask the US to send her back to Italy to serve her sentence. But it won't be that simple, because the US will first have to decide if this is a case of double jeopardy. That's when a suspect risks being tried for the same crime twice. That can't happen in the US, but in Italy, although it might seem that Miss Knox has already been tried more than once for the same crimes, the justice system doesn't consider it's over until she's used up all her chances of appeal. So it isn't final until it's final.